What is up, everybody, and welcome to the 2018 free agency edition of the Double Foul podcast. Jimmy Cook alongside NBA Twitter's favorite Google avatar, Collin O'Connor. Collin, how are you doing this evening on this exciting opening night of the moratorium period of NBA free agency?
I'm having fun giving my thumb a great workout just scrolling through Twitter so far. It's been nice.
Yeah, Collin, I know you've been scrolling through Twitter, getting those reps, starting the P90 thumb X this evening. But give the listeners that don't have access to Twitter your latest so far.
Latest, Paul George staying in OKC, which, all season probably would have been a shock. We've kind of heard rumblings the last few days, but it turns out to be a nice trade for the Thunder exactly a year to the date. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome for them. I mean, it's you think about the roll of the dice that Sam Presti and the Thunder took a year ago today to bring in Paul George when everybody had him sailing off into the West Coast sunset. And now suddenly it's a Midwest thing, y'all.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure a report came out last season when Paul George was available that he said, Lakers, don't trade for me. Don't give up assets for me because I'm coming anyway.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened, actually, now that I think about it.
I remember that happening, which is crazy because now he's not there. The Lakers missed out on him, and the Thunder took a gamble and they got him.
So. Now, here's the biggest thing. Before we go into exactly what this 15, 20-minute podcast is going to be about this evening, depending on how long we want to actually be on. Say this much, Collin. Are you at all in a frame of mind that would indicate to you that now that Paul George has spurned the Lakers, there's fear there, there's anxiety there, and they're motivated now more than ever to decide that it's time to make a move for Kawhi Leonard?
I think absolutely. I think LeBron's going to be in LA regardless, but I think they'd be ridiculously dumb not to just sell the house for Kawhi.
I don't see why that wasn't the main point of emphasis to begin with. I mean, I understand that most of Laker Nation is really worried about the idea of giving up the house, which is hit or miss to me. I mean, I understand if you've watched a team build and build, you don't want to get rid of your assets. That's fine. Right. I understand. But at the same time, I don't know. It's Kawhi. Like, I understand he's coming off an injury. I understand that it's rumored he might not be as healthy as his camp thinks he is. But it's Kawhi Leonard. Like, we talked about this a week ago.
LeBron's 34 years old. He's not getting younger. You can't wait for Kuzma and Lonzo and Brandon Ingram to develop if you're going to get LeBron. You got to win a title this year, next year, the year after. You got to go all in right now. And Kawhi helps you do that. Potentially Boogie Cousins helps you do that. Lonzo Ball's not helping you win a championship next year as a number 2 scoring option, number 3 scoring option.
Collin, am I reading this right? Also, not to interrupt you, what is the Doug McDermott salary?
I think 22 million for 3 years.
All right, it's not terrible. The way that Hardwood Proxies and the great Matt Moore had this listed made it seem like it was a lot more than it was. But
22 million for 3 years. Yes.
Now, another thing to note here, the other big signing at the opening stages of the Bell, not that this was a piece of news that didn't float around throughout the evening and earlier this week, but DeAndre Jordan, the Dallas Mavericks, is it 2015? Am I right? Have verbally agreed on a 1-year deal approaching the $24.1 million option.
No, I'm not falling for that again.
You're not.
You're waiting back in LA in 5 days.
You're waiting until pen gets to paper.
Yeah. He's got to sign. I'm not listening to anything DeAndre Jordan to Dallas related yet.
All right, then how about I throw out a different Texas breaking news story for you. Chris Paul will reportedly sign a 4-year, $160 million max contract to stay with the Houston Rockets.
Awesome. I think that's actually going to be a little bit of a rough contract towards the end, but they've got a team that can get to the finals next year right now. So run it back. Let's do it again. Let's see if Chris Paul can stay healthy.
Collin, I'll let you, before you actually go ahead with your thought, but then I'll let you take the Nuggets news that happened shortly after. I know that one matters more to you than it does to me.
I think that I think they would have won the title if Chris Paul didn't get hurt. So run it back. Let's do this.
I think they would have made it to the NBA Finals if Chris Paul wouldn't have gotten hurt. Collin, anyway, I'll let you have that Denver news that was started to look like it was going to happen, and now it was early reported before midnight by some sources
about Will Barton, Jokic.
Jokic specifically, because I know that Jokic has a special place in your heart.
I do love me some Jokic passes off the block, high post too. He deserves the max. I think he's a max player. The Denver Nuggets are a little bit of a mess. I'm surprised Will Barton is signing there. I'm surprised they brought him back for that much money. And I'm a little disappointed. It seemed like all week he was going to end up in Indiana, and he was such a perfect fit for the Pacers, especially if LeBron's in the West. He really could have helped him, get another boost and maybe compete with Boston in the playoff series or Philadelphia. But, they can settle for Doug McDermott, I guess.
Does anybody here think, and by anybody, I guess just you and me, because I realize that, it's just a two-way conversation right now. Is there any way that Paul George still has that meeting in LA? Like, because he's just verbally signed. Like, he isn't like, all he did was go on stage at a concert or a party that Russell Westbrook is hosting. Like, is it that out of the realm of possibility that PG couldn't go back to LA and be like, oh, well, Magic, hi, what's up, man? How are you? Like, that
DeAndre Jordan's linked to the Mavericks? I guess anything can happen this summer.
But I'm serious though. Like, isn't that exactly what happened with Dallas? Didn't they get a verbal? And I mean, I know it's not the same, but in principle, it's the same. Like,
I'm in on that happening just because it would be another season of Russ just saying "F you," middle finger to the league, especially to the Lakers. Then we'd get all out Russ for the Lakers and the Warriors. I'd be in for that.
Yeah, I would be too. Also, Joe Varden, a very high up there reporter in terms of the Cleveland Circle, NBA reporter for Cleveland.com. He is just tweeted a few moments ago. LeBron's agent Rich Paul expects to speak with Cavs GM Kobe Altman right around now as free agency begins. That again, LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, not LeBron. LeBron's agent. I would say that. Man, I didn't want to do this. I was hoping I could wait until some breaking news happens, but I would say that more than likely speaking. One second, Collin, I'll let you weigh in on that. Do you think that's weird that it's just the agent speaking with the Cavs, or do you suppose that Rich Paul coming in on a horse without LeBron should have been expected weeks ago?
I don't know if we should read anything into that, if we're being honest. I think he said he didn't want to do team meetings this year. He didn't want people to try and sell him this year, so I think that's fair. He's been through it enough in his time.
Can I throw a counterpoint?
Sure.
Is he having a dinner with Dan Gilbert?
True. I don't think I would want to have a dinner with Dan Gilbert.
I wouldn't either, but
Aaron Baines just agreed to a 2-year, $11 million deal to return to the Celtics. I am content with that.
There you go. It's nice.
He's solid.
Is that everything you wanted and more?
It is.
Well, anyway, what I was alluding to was, now is probably as good a time as any since, this is going to be hilarious in like 2 days from now if this isn't correct and this is what happens. But I was digging through the closet and I was looking through some old clothes and I scooped up this bad boy that I believe I bought when I ransacked Target for their NBA T-shirts they were selling back in high school. So, it looks like that. Per some sources, we're not breaking this right now on the Double Foul podcast, but it looks like there's a fair chance that good old LeBron will not be in Cleveland next year. So I don't know what else to say, but California. Maybe not. That was false five. Never mind. This is awkward. Anyway, bang. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go. It's Is it happening? Is it happening? I couldn't get out of LeBron for so I had to roll with this. In my defense, though, you are wearing a Lakers jersey this season as well, and you can't prove that you're not. Sorry for the question, but
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I would agree. Oh, is it working? Is the music playing on your end?
Yeah.
Bush League here, but that's how we're feeling this evening. And do you think there's any chance that doesn't happen? I mean, do you? Because he's not going back to Cleveland. Like I feel 110% confident that that's off the table. I think the only way he goes anywhere else is if, personally at this point, I'm starting to buy into all the LA talk, and unless Philadelphia trades for Kawhi, I don't think it's happening.
Yeah,
because he's not having meetings. Right.
I'm just speculating off of like an aggregation of sources and scrolling through everything this week, but it seems like it's pretty much done to LA. It seems like it's been done for a while. An interesting subplot to this LeBron potentially forming a super team where we've got Lakers, Rockets, Warriors, Anthony Davis in the West, is maybe this pushes the NBA to implement a 1-16 playoff, regardless of conference.
I did see that on a tweet earlier. I don't know if this was can't remember if this was for. I cannot remember what the tweet was in relation to or who had tweeted it, but I do remember the context of the tweet, basically alluding to what you'd exactly just said, which is that should we get rid of, now that LeBron's there, like this basically assures us that before the finals, the Warriors, the Rockets, or LeBron is going to be bounced from the playoffs before then. And I don't know. I'll stand by it, even if it bites LeBron in the butt. I don't think that there's any business of ruining the conferences. Even if LeBron goes west, I like the conference tradition. I don't care if it means I'm going to have to see the Celtics in the NBA Finals year in and year out for the next 5 years now. I stand by the tradition that the conferences provide.
With the flying technology we have these days, it's fine if we have
flying technology.
These teams in the West, they
airplanes.
Airplanes.
I'm sorry, I've had my rough goes this evening too, but I gotta take the opportunity when I can.
New Orleans is playing a Western Conference series against Golden State. New Orleans is not in the West. So let's just open it up. We don't have traveling restrictions anymore. There's nothing wrong with Indiana flying to California to San Francisco to play a third-round series against the Warriors. It'd be fun. NCAA tournament like.
I don't know. I really like the traditions of Jeremy Grant agreed to a 3-year, $27 million contract to return to the Thunder.
Nice.
So
he'll have a bunch of defensive lapses and Thunder stunks for Twitter.
Ilyasova has agreed to a 3-year, $20 million deal with Milwaukee. League sources tell ESPN. So the Bucks keeping things.
That's a lot of money for Ilyasova.
Keeping things, I would agree. Do you think it was bans restricted?
No.
I don't know, Collin. I'm starting to fade off the rails here for a second because I'm waiting for the next big shoe to drop, and I haven't seen that.
Salary cap exceeded expectations for next year. It'll be going up again. Zach Lowe thinks we might have a 2016 like summer again next year, which could be fun. A lot of teams with cap space. All these 1-year deals, maybe we'll get some more movement next year.
Do you think that Boogie and the Lakers, if that happens, is a situation where it's just a high-paid 1-year deal?
Maybe. I think Boogie's going to be interesting because he's coming off that Achilles injury where how good is he going to be next year versus in a couple years he'll probably be pretty solid. But coming off this injury, it might take him a while. So, yeah, maybe a 1-year deal, see how he can go, or maybe a backloaded contract that pays him more towards the end when he's playing better. He'll be more tradable.
I don't know what to think here. So what do the Lakers do? Let's say this LeBron thing is happening. Let's say that somebody is let's say that it's not Boogie, and let's say that they're going after other pieces. But who do you see going to LA if LeBron's going there? Who's joining him this season, assuming there's not a move to go get Kawhi?
I think it's got to be Kawhi first. I think I see them making a move where they don't have to sell everybody for Kimba. That'd be a nice piece with LeBron. Maybe one of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum could get moved. I mean, the Lakers have the pieces to get one of these guys. It's just, are they willing to move for this?
It's a fair question.
Also, Paul George signs 4-year deal, not just a 1+1.
I did just see that as well. From Woj, 4 years. What was the final stretch there? 137, including a player option. Man, I tell you what, for somebody that talked all that talk about loving the Lakers and wanting to go there, I'm really stunned, man. I'm like ignoring the idea of LeBron going there. I'm really surprised. I mean, I'm neutral on Paul George. Like, I think he's a really good player, but
yeah, he's not a.
I would rather have Kawhi if I had to choose between the two.
Right, of course, but I don't think Paul George is a second option on a finals team in 2018. He's not a number 2 with LeBron on a team that's going to a championship.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. Collin, do me a favor real quick. I want you to talk about, give me a little Celtics love for a second. I got to step away a second. But Aaron Baines returning and the fact that it was for that kind of price, because it looks like a solid move by the Celtics. Looks like a really solid money deal overall for them. You know a little bit more about what their cap situation's looking like. Says here he's getting a player option on the second season of this new contract. Tell me a little bit about what that does for the Celtics long term and what you think they have to play around with now that they're making that move.
I mean, it's good for both of them that they got him potentially for 2 years. Their cap space is a little bit hairy, so they're saving money right away. But he's also, in a sense, banking on himself, signing for less money now with a player option for next year, so that if he had a pretty solid season next year when there's more team with cap space, more teams willing to spend money, he can probably get a bigger contract. Maybe not Timothy Mozgov in 2016 money, obviously, not even Bismack Biyombo 2016 money, even though he's better than both of them. But I think it's a win-win for Aaron Baines and the Celtics, since he has that flexibility to maybe make some more cash next offseason when the cap space increases.
There you have it. And again, like I talked with Collin before I stepped away. I mean, I like Baines. I think he's a solid.
All of Australia.
Sure. I don't know. I've liked Baines when I've seen him talk. I think he is an exactly type of player that Brad Stevens would want to have continually within his organization. Ainge clearly has some love there, and there's clearly a good enough relationship when I feel like Baines probably could have gotten more on the open market than what the Celtics are giving him. Maybe not. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
I mean, next year he can opt out in an off season where more teams will have cap space and make some more cash if he feels the need to do so. He can just win a title this year in Boston and explore some other options.
I'm letting the just win a title with Boston slide by a little bit. But no, seriously, I mean, I think that's a solid move for them. What surprised you less? The Kevin Durant reaching a 2-year, $61.5 million deal to return to the Warriors, or Dwight Howard allegedly having interest in joining the Warriors?
Definitely Dwight Howard having interest in joining the Warriors. I also have interest in joining the Warriors. Though it would be fun to see Dwight Howard in the JaVale McGee role next season. But
I think about that, and I don't want that. I don't.
You know that Dwight Howard's still going to be calling for post ups. He's like, no, I'm not gonna roll off pick and rolls. I'm calling for post ups. So if I'm the Warriors, I'm staying away from Dwight Howard. No thanks.
Oh my goodness. Are you surprised at all that? Are you surprised even slightly that the KD deal happened so quickly?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
And he can opt out next year too. I mean, KD and LeBron keep taking these 1-year deals, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Clearly, that sit down conversation with Dwayne Wade really helped out Paul George mentality.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a single minute of that special, by the way. I don't know if you tuned in to any of it, but I had no part of it.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely no part of it.
I mean, I live in Indiana, so I was religiously not allowed to participate.
Not allowed to participate in which?
In watching that Paul George documentary.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. I figured the O'Connor household would probably bar that.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Collin, the New York Knicks have interest in unrestricted free agent Mario Hezonja.
Ooh, I think that would be fun.
Knicks GM Scott Perry was in Orlando when the Magic selected Hezonja 5th overall in 2015.
The Magic they declined his option, and then he sort of went off. I think that they gave up on him a little bit too soon. But they could have had control of him for a few more years, and they said no, and he was like, all right, and just started balling out. And I think he's a solid piece. He's still young. Give him a shot. Bring him on.
Also, go ahead.
It'd be nice to have him somewhere with a little more structure than New York, but he's the type of guy that I think would thrive in that sort of atmosphere.
Hold on a second. This is a new era with Fizdale at the helm. They're trying to turn the page onto structure and organization, and I'm sorry I can't get that through with a straight face, even though I do like Fizdale.
Yeah, that worked out well with Memphis. Marcus Stoll was all about that.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. I've heard off the record comments from you that you enjoy Fizdale just as much as the next man. I didn't realize there was back end hatred now that he's on the Knicks. The Memphis Grizzlies are among several teams interested in free agent guard Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Collin, is that a move that means nothing because there's no way that the Lakers aren't going to bring him back?
I mean, I think mostly the Lakers brought him in last year because Rich Paul was his agent. And they gave a little wink to Rich Paul and said, hey, look what we did this summer for your boy who couldn't get a deal anywhere. It's potentially, help him land LeBron this year. But, I mean,
unless of course, they get Kawhi, but I don't know.
I don't love his fit in LA making a title run. He's not going to add much. Memphis might be a good spot for him.
Somebody else brought up today, this one, Alex Kennedy, that when guys have a devastating injury, they're usually more worried about long-term security of a multi-year deal than anything else. So maybe that had something to do with Paul George and the move.
I love it. Good for OKC. Bet on themselves.
I'm a little torn for two reasons. The first being I really, really like Russ. And I really, really like OKC. And I'm neutral on Paul George. I'm starting to get into the conflict of interest territory because I kind of would have been okay with LeBron and Paul George being out west together. But now it's a matter of, it's just going to be weird, man. Like, I know the LeBron news isn't official yet, but like, he's going to be out there with a bunch of youngins that are unproven, that are on the rise, but that are unproven. And I guess you can make the argument it's the same thing in Philly, but they made the playoffs this past year. And maybe you bring in Boogie, but who knows if they're even going to work together? Like,
yeah, that's not a great fit. Ideally you have LeBron and shooters.
Like I like
fast.
Like I get the concept, like because I felt like that any team that was going to bring LeBron in, even in 14 before the Cleveland move, that if you're going to have him come into your system, you want like that's why I was so mad when they dealt Wiggins because you want there to be an air there to carry the way. Kyrie could have been that. Wiggins could have maybe been that. I mean, I know that's a leap because Wiggins has developed at least decently since he's left Cleveland, but still, like I don't want a team to gut themselves to get LeBron unless it's underneath his demand, in which case I'll shake my head and be like, all right, I guess he's in full win now mode. Now, that being said, I don't get it. Like if you're not trading for Kawhi and all you're bringing is Boogie, why go west? Unless you just don't care about the final streak anymore and just like, all right, I like LA. My family likes LA. I like the setup here. Free agents are always going to want to come play with me for the final 4 years of my career, unless they're named Paul George. Let's go do this. Like, I don't know.
Silicon Valley's right there. Start investing some money. Maybe go Kobe's route, make some weird documentaries. Get a TV show on ESPN.
Oscar?
There's other things other than winning titles.
He went an Oscar out there?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what LeBron wants right now.
Joe Harris, 2-year deal, $16 million. The Nets.
Oh wow.
I'm waiting for all night.
Yeah. He was the other backup option for the Indiana Pacers, so I guess they won with option B. Doug McDermott, big win for the Pacers.
Melo is not in the Paul George Russ Instagram pic.
Let's
so
buy
like
him out.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, are they buying him out? Like, is that what's happening? The Thunder don't have the money to do that.
That's a lot of money.
I don't even know if you like what the negotiations look like for a buyout, but like the Thunder aren't spending that money. They're doing it if they're getting. I don't know.
They could trade Carmelo for Kevin Martin, like they did James Harden. Save some cash.
Somebody's saying stretch Melo's contract out.
Sure.
Waive and stretch his contract over 4 years.
It's a little bit crazy that Paul George said no to LeBron and is staying in OKC, I think.
I mean, I think it's dumb personally. I mean, it's dumb. I don't know. The whole idea of going west is stupid. I mean, at least with what the Warriors are right now. I mean, unless you're forming another super team, like I don't know, just none of it makes sense to me at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're both getting bounced by OKC. They're both probably getting bounced by the Rockets. I mean, right now, as it stands, with the idea of LeBron going to the Lakers and nobody else there.
Right.
And apparently, because Melo has one more year on his deal, right? Like, this is it. This is the last year, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, but it looks like from Hardwood, unless something happens and there's trades or other disasters, the Thunder team is going to look like how it stands, minus maybe Melo until 2021. So this is your team. This is right. Russ. This is PG.
They're having a bumping party right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of this.
Like a good time.
Yeah. How do you get on? How do you think they got on that guest list? What do you think?
You have to be a slightly above average third option on a 41 win team.
We're definitely going to, for those that are tuned in with us this evening, we are definitely going to be doing a smaller podcast at some point tomorrow evening, just to recap everything that's happened since it is still slow right now. 12:30 on the East Coast, 11:30 Central Time, and 9:30 out west. But what I was going to mention was that specifically speaking, with the story of Paul George going to Oklahoma City, it's got to make you feel good if you're a small market team. No, I mean,
Yeah,
like
except if you're the
I think
Pacers,
we are
guess.
missing that. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess you need to. So you need to have a star already there. But if you already have a star there that likes you, there's hope that you can keep another
Exactly,
star.
exactly, and that's why the Pacers trade ended up being good because they have Oladipo now,
Yep.
and I think maybe a year later, after another competitive playoff run, they can get someone a little bigger in a more open market. It's just it would have been nice to see them get Will Barton or Aaron Gordon or someone like that.
See the
But
Thunder
yeah,
go out and do that.
if you have one and two, it's easier to get a third. Where it is to to draft a first, you got to get one first.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I don't know. This is weird. Wearing this purple and gold shirt feels wrong. I don't know. The jersey won't feel weird if it actually happens, but the shirt itself, not what I'm looking for right now, Colin. I don't know. Well, barring any, you just know something else is going to drop the second that we leave this podcast.
It is kind of fun that we'll now both be Yankees, Red Sox fans and Lakers, Celtics fans.
Man, that's well, already been Yankees, Red Sox, but there you go.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay and the Spurs, Colin. That's a feel good story right there. There you go. There's some restoration to the Spurs organization. Restored the good name.
I've got a question for you.
Sure.
If you're the Spurs, and you trade, let's say you trade Kawhi to the Lakers for Ingram, Kuz, and a first-round pick, are you running it back with a competitive team with LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe win about...
Wait, pause that question and run it back one more time.
Okay. You're the Spurs.
Okay.
You trade Kawhi to the Lakers for Kuzma.
Okay.
Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
And a first-round pick.
All right.
Maybe two. Whatever.
All right.
Would you run back the team with LaMarcus Aldridge and those pieces, maybe win 48, 52 games, maybe a little bit less, make the playoffs, 6, 7 seed probably, compete? Or are you trading LaMarcus Aldridge and just completely blowing it up, knowing that maybe Pop has 2 years left in coaching?
Two things for you. First of all, I don't think, even if they're the Spurs, that the Spurs competitively, this is the bold prediction, I guess, on the free agency edition of the Double Foul podcast. I'll share that laugh in a minute. The Spurs, as it stands, are not making the playoffs next year if they run it back.
Last year.
If they run it back. That's my bold pick.
Kawhi played 9 games.
I understand that. That's my bold pick. I'm going to name you the teams that are going to make it in front of them. You just got to give me a second. All right, let's hold it. All right. What seed were the Spurs last year?
8.
All right. The Warriors.
7.
This is not in this order. This is not in this order. Okay, who was the 8th seed?
The
Pellies?
No.
No, it wasn't the Pellies. Who'd the Thunder play? What?
The Rockets were the 1 seed.
Oh, that's right. You're right. I'm dumb. You're right. So the Rockets played the who'd they open with?
Jeez, it's too late.
I'm
sleep deprived.
Hold on a second. I don't want to Google it, but I'm going to have to. My guess before I go and Google this is the Jazz. No, second round.
No.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
The Jazz Thunder.
The T-Wolves.
T-Wolves,
they beat the Nuggets in that last game of the season. There we go.
So it was T-Wolves in the series, right? Yes. Okay. Right. You're right. Okay. So
max contract Andrew Wiggins.
So let me go and pull up these Western Conference standings real quick just so we can have an educated, quick conversation about this before we wrap things up for the final time with some look at last-minute breaking news. All right. So, this is easy. It's going to be a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Rockets, playoffs. Warriors, playoffs.
Yes.
Thunder, playoffs.
Yep.
Locked in, okay? We can agree on those 3 to start off with.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable saying Jazz, playoffs.
Right.
I feel comfortable saying Trailblazers, playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at 5 right there. That means we've got 6, 7, and 8. Pelicans, even if Boogie does not return.
If Anthony Davis stays healthy.
If AD stays healthy and no Boogie, regardless, playoffs.
Probably.
That gives us 2 spots. You know damn well that a LeBron James-led Lakers team is making the playoffs. That's 7. There's no doubt. Like, I would, barring knocking on wood, a devastating injury to LeBron James, they are making the playoffs. As I'm about to go look for a salt shaker, they are making the playoffs when LeBron, if he goes to LA. So that is 7 teams. You're telling me you would feel more than 40% confident in the Spurs that they're going to make it over the T-Wolves, we're throwing the Lakers in there, so who did I drop down? So the T-Wolves, here's my teams. The T-Wolves and the Mavs and the Nuggets.
The Mavs will be solid too.
T-Wolves, Mavs, Nuggies, Spurs.
I don't think the Mavs are a playoff team, but
I'm just throwing them in there because bringing in Jordan, I'm assuming that Doncic is going to be for real, and Dirk's last year potentially, or last 2 years. So we'll give them the feel good. So we'll throw them in there, and we'll say. So 7, we'll just hypothetical is Lakers. So that leaves us Spurs, T-Wolves, Nuggies, and Mavs as a throw-in for that 8th seed. Do you feel greater than 40% confident the Spurs are going to make the postseason? If they're actively trying to without Kawhi and running it back with what they get from LA. I guess I'm ignoring Ingram. I'm seriously doubting him, and that I'm not even thinking about him. He's an afterthought in that analogy to me.
No, but DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, LaMarcus Aldridge. It's a pretty fun team. I mean, that's a league pass team. And Kuzma. He's maybe a little bit overrated at this point, but
Lakers love him.
Right. So you would trade Aldridge, you think?
Yeah. I mean, what's the point? I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Pop doesn't care about relationships right now. It's not on his MO. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Go ahead. I agree. He came off a really good season last year.
Yeah, I mean, get some value. Somebody will make a move for that.
Right.
Maybe even one of those playoffs teams that we just talked about, those fringe teams. I don't know. Dream Shake, Rockets SB Nation Twitter account. If LeBron picks LA and drops a Space Jam 2 trailer at the same time, he's the GOAT.
Trevor Ariza just signed with the Phoenix Suns.
I just got that alert as well. I was going to say that Isaiah Whitehead's $1.54 million salary guaranteed date has been pushed back to July 31st was the big shocking news there. Woj says Lakers have not been super aggressive with Spurs on Kawhi talks and that Lakers may want to see how things play out with LeBron.
Huh. Trevor Ariza not signing back with Houston is interesting.
Well, can we throw the Suns in as a playoff team now?
We can throw the Suns in as an incredibly fun league pass team, for sure. With an incredibly fun young core. That's my kind of league pass team.
Yeah.
Maybe a 30-ish, 35 win team who's up and coming. Yeah, I'll be all in on the Spurs or the Suns next year.
So who do the Rockets go after now? Is that
you got to get a mid-level guy. Vet minimum. Richard Jefferson.
No, Richard Jefferson's going to LA, baby. He's got his house out there. He's not bothering that. Dude, road tripping's gonna be back. Sorry, Caps Nation. Keep chanting and bring in RJ. Man, going places.
Please. I'm in for that.
Going places. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. Collin, any other last minute breaks? I know we've kind of gone off the rails here, but I am stunned by that Ariza deal. I don't.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. It's like JJ Redick money right there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where JJ Redick on a LeBron team would be so perfect.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, I feel like he probably resigns in unless he wants more money.
In Philly.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a good fit. That's a good spot for him for sure.
yeah, for sure. I don't know, Collin. News that is not broken yet this evening that you're surprised that hasn't happened, and then news that you wanted to have happen that has news that you haven't heard that you're mad about, and news that you have heard that you're surprised about. And we can both agree probably Trevor Reese is the second answer to that question. But
that's definitely a surprise. I'm ready for the LeBron Player Tribune article to drop. It's
not happening, man.
That's what we're all waiting for, right?
No, it's not. It's not going up on there.
Let's get the Players Tribune article.
Dude, he's not Players Tribuning it. You know where he's putting that.
My next chapter.
Dog. Nice, but no. it's that's going on uninterrupted. Come on now.
That's fine.
I mean, I'm just that I saw that a couple weeks ago, and it like makes perfect sense, right?
Absolutely.
It's his baby. Somebody's got to roll the dice on Kawhi now, right? I mean, Philly, somebody? Not Boston. I don't think Boston wants to do that.
No, I don't
think Boston knows they're fine where they are. Unless LeBron goes out to Philly, they're fine.
I mean, reports say that they were offering for Kawhi without including Jaylen Brown. So what's that look like? Sacramento pick and Terry Rozier? I don't think that's happening.
It's got to be Jason Tatum, right?
No.
You don't think to play ball with the Spurs, that's Tatum?
Oh, yeah, I agree. At least Jaylen Brown.
But what you think they offered was not
right.
either of those things?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah. And plus, for salaries to work, you have to give up Hayward or Irving, right? Or Horford. You gotta get rid of him.
Right. Yes.
I don't know, man. I think there's a lot left to happen as the dust settles here this evening. And into the coming days. Obviously, the LeBron news is still fresh in everybody's minds in terms of that it has not happened yet. Oh, there's the bomb I've been looking for. Man, I didn't think it would ever arrive. Free agent forward Ed Davis has agreed to a 1-year, $4.4 million deal with the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what we're here for.
Yep, that's what I've been waiting up for this whole time. There's legitimately people upset about it.
Well, he shouldn't be taking minutes away from Jared Allen.
Dude, here's my other bold prediction. That's not so obvious bold prediction. If LeBron goes to LA, guess who's going to get that backup point guard spot?
Not Isaiah Thomas.
Nope, definitely not. You're right on that. You can bet the house on that.
Show and Mac.
I mean, you're playing to my heartstrings now, but no, that's not it either. I'll give you a hint. He was he was not given a qualifying offer yesterday.
Marcus Smart.
It was brought to my attention he was playing in Portland last year.
Oh, Shabazz.
Shabazz Napier, baby. The full-scale story. Finally playing together after 4 years. It's finally happening.
The guy that almost kept LeBron in Miami.
So close. So close. That's my random bold prediction of meaninglessness there. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I don't know what kind of money he's going to get on the open market. But Doug McDermott got $8 million, so, anything's possible, right? 7.5.
Sure.
It's weird.
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
Shooting. Got to surround Victor Oladipo with shooters.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't have any last year.
It's fair. Oh, man. All right. Well, Collin, some final thoughts as we close down here for NBA Free Agency Special 2018. And Collin, can I get you on record for all of our for all our passionate viewers and listeners, are we coming back tomorrow at some point in time for a little recap of everything?
I'm in. Let's come back in 2018 and give it a summary.
What'd you say?
Let's come back in 2018, give it a summary.
Yeah, that's what I'm all for. That's what I'm all for. News that you expect to happen when we get off here. Any bold predictions before we hang things up?
A LeBron James article dropping early Monday morning. Wake up. We're gonna wake up to it.
Okay, so early Monday morning. So not only does LeBron's news miss us tonight, but it missed us tomorrow also.
Tomorrow, yeah, early Monday morning.
Man.
Drive to work.
Drive to work. I walk. Or actually, I know you're right. It is a drive. I Uber. Walk home. Uber to work.
As I travel across the country.
Man. Dude, what if you lose service like for an hour on this cross-country journey? Like all the deals that could possibly happen in that time span.
I'll probably take a nap.
Yeah. Wake up and find out that the Celtics traded away the cupboard for Kawhi.
I'd probably go back to sleep.
Will we get a live feed in the moving truck?
Oh, I cannot be more excited that I'm moving across the country the same day that Twitter will be ablaze with NBA free agency rumors. It's good timing.
Yeah. If I didn't think it would terrorize all the people involved in the mood, I would say let's get you on the Google Hangout app on the drive. Let's get a live feed going through that whole time span.
Oh man.
Anyway, Collin, are you free tomorrow for another jump on a retry of the 2018?
Man.
Yeah. I'm in as well. Last thing I do want to say before we go. I'm just poaching off Twitter here, but looks like the Rockets can feel pretty confident about bringing back Clint Capella.
That's good.
I mean, I would think that's not reported by anybody, but mentioned by SB Nation and the Dream Shake. But yeah, I would think that's almost a lock, right?
Yes.
I mean, no Ariza. I mean, and the way that these deals are going right now, I mean,
yeah, sure him up. I agree.
I don't know. I don't have the figures in front of me or who could try to go after him, but I don't know. Oh, here it is. Colin, we got the bomb. Did you get the bomb? I got the bomb. Did you get it? Do you want to break it? Do you want me to do it?
Oh, jeez.
Dude, you want me to do it or you want to take it?
You got it.
Ladies and gentlemen on the Double Foul Podcast, we have a former MVP making a decision. That's right. He's still a former MVP. Derrick Rose finalizing a one-year deal. Return to Minnesota. These
all they
sources
need
tell
is
ESPN for Woj.
Bring in Luol Deng and Jakeem Noah, and they're really going to be in business.
Do you want more Life Comes at You Fast before we depart this evening?
Absolutely.
A little bit less than a year ago today, I was telling myself, you know what? Derrick Rose is going to revitalize his career in Cleveland. It's going to be nice. He's going to get an opportunity to make a big moment in the playoffs. And, that didn't happen.
There's nothing worse than Derrick Rose stan Twitter, except for maybe Carmelo stan Twitter.
Yeah. Speaking of stans, do you think that Lakers stans and LeBron stans like myself are going to get along well?
No. Absolutely not.
That's not going to be a friendly union?
Not in the slightest bit.
I've already seen some tweets about people, as does happen. They're bandwagoners. You know, nobody. We don't want bandwagons. I love my day one, folks. No one cares, man. Literally, no one cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
The Lakers are a major market team. 75% of the global fan base for the Lakers are wishy-washy fans. Like it's not personal.
I have and always will believed in the philosophy of life is short. Let people cheer for whoever the hell they want to cheer for and enjoy their own lives. It's not bugging you that someone is cheering for the Lakers when they cheered for the Cavs last year. Who cares? Let people do what they want.
That is also your philosophy about court storming.
That's my philosophy about most things in life is let people do what they want. But
yeah, that's fair. I do have some finite, cutoffs on that, but as I'm sure you do too.
So we're not letting the world go to chaos, obviously, but
Yeah.
And stupid things like sports, and who they cheer for.
Yeah.
It's not impacting my life that you cheered for the Cavs last year and you'll cheer for Lakers this year.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy, man.
This is my last run of true fanhood with an NBA player, I think. I mean, I don't see this continuing for me. And LeBron is that last entity. So if that means I'm repping purple and gold next year, I've always liked the purple. I'll say that much. I've always enjoyed the purple. I don't know.
Lakers Celtics Christmas Day matchup will be fun.
Dude, we pre-ordered our Christmas jerseys in October.
I'm in.
Oh man. Well, that'll about wrap things up here on the Double Foul podcast. Collin, any final words before we legitimately do close this out? As I've said that for like 6 times now, and then something else minor that's not very important has happened. But any big final thoughts you want to get out there?
We're all waiting on you, LeBron. So let's get this moving.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, like I said, give us a shout for tomorrow sometime, unannounced time. We'll probably do a little bit better promoting such events. But give us a shout tomorrow for some podcast love, where in that time span, there'll probably be a lot of big signings that do happen. And Collin, I'll let you actually break the final signing of our podcast night before anything happens. Looks like Woj dropped one more bomb for us.
Oh yeah, Omri Caspi signed with the Wolves. Wow.
Grizz. Time for bed.
That's
time for bed. Time for bed. Time for bed. That's how much you care, and that's how tired we are. Definitely. Well, anyway, R.I.P. Trevor Ariza and Houston, and R.I.P. Ed Davis and Portland, I guess. And yeah, that's about all I have. Congrats to the Thunder. Congrats to small market teams everywhere. For my partner in crime, Collin O'Connor, thank you so much for joining us on the Double Foul Free Agency 2018 Midnight Edition podcast. Tune in tomorrow, where we'll break down the latest of movements and trades and signings that have been rumored to have happened while we went to sleep. Good night, everybody. Stay safe, and if OK season ruins tomorrow, we'll know why.
Thunder Mifflin, the people's persons, paper people.
An unofficial sponsor of the Double Foul podcast. We'll see you tomorrow.